All right, everyone, and welcome back once again to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree, and here today we're going over all of the content that is coming out this week on Dragon Ball Legends. So if you guys are hyped for this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you guys enjoy the weekly breakdown videos, be sure to hit that subscribe for more content that we have coming for you guys. We do these again every week. Now, I'm going to say that Gohan is coming out tonight alongside Cell. We're going to be doing both of those units later on tonight, so stay tuned for the showcases for those guys. They're going to be a little bit later tonight because maintenance is a couple of hours extended this time around. I hate when they do that, but they're doing it again, so it's going to be a little bit later, so keep that in mind. In terms of how this video is going to be structured, we're going to start off by going over some of the lesser important things, easier stuff to hit through, and then we're going to end things off with the new characters. So, speaking of new characters, there's only a couple. We have the Zenkai Gohan and Zenkai Cell. Yes, a dual Zenkai release. Toshi, Legends team, please never do this again. Please, especially not if they're both the same color. Please stop. Don't do it. All right, that being said, Sparking Weekend, you guys have been looking at this for a little bit. This is going to be something interesting. So every weekend, we guys, we'll just be, you guys, excuse me, we guys. Everybody will be able to apparently get some Sparking tickets to do a weekend summon. So probably going to be something similar to Dokkan's Weekend Gacha, something like that. You guys can see a little bit of the roster here. We'll come back to the banner as we go. Let's take a look at the equipments. So this equip is Awakening. So Ultra Space Time Rush is getting reset. And this time on Ultra Space Time Rush, you will be able from now on to pick up the Awakening Z Power for the Red Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So again, Awakening Z Power exclusively. I don't know if Legends Limited Z Power will be in there. I doubt it, but Awakening Z Power for his Zenkai Awakening will be available in the Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop. Excuse me. So keep that in mind. So this one actually was already a really good equip. You could get upwards of like 20% or 23 or 4% at a Z rank in either blast attack or defensive stat and still have some left over. Pretty good. So now it actually picks up double defense, blast attack, and for slot 3 it can be another defensive stat or blast attack just like previously. I was using this already on blast base units, but it's for red hybrids now. And again, speaking of blast base, there's only a couple here that really want this. A couple of these guys are melee-based, and they don't really care for that. I'm not somebody that really wants to bring up the weaker stats on these units. I just feel like you're better off using, if they're freaking Gotenks, he wants to use strikes. Just give him strike equips, right? It maximizes his damage, in my opinion, so I'm not one to do otherwise. So here we have the new Cell equip. So this is going to be part of the 50-stage Cell event that's coming out, so keep that in mind. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we go. So this one is for regeneration characters. It's going to be good on a number of characters, including but not limited to every Cell basically in the game, and pretty much all the regen characters. This is going to be a really good equip, pretty much for all of them. Even if they don't have an ultimate, they're all still going to want to get the double attack and special move damage buff. It's just a good equip across the board. Even though strike attack, in slot 1 is pretty low. I'm apparently slurring a lot of words. It's okay though, right? You have 15% blast attack, 10% in both of these stats. It's a good equip. I definitely recommend farming it. And characters like Omega are just going to do insane amounts of damage with another equip that's going to buff his ultimate damage as well. And again, even if you don't have an ult, it's still going to be really good. It's going to be really good on the new Zenkai Cell as well, and the old Yellow Cell too, especially because they can double benefit from the special move buff and ultimate damage buff. So here is another equip here. This one is probably going to be... It doesn't show where it's from. It's probably from PvP this time around. So this one's for Vegeta family units. Blast attack, special move, and then strike attack for each Vegeta family battle member. That's actually pretty nuts. And a full Vegeta family team. If you get a good roll on that, you're going to get a really good amount, especially because it's not to the base stat. It's going to be a very, very explosive stat buff. Double attack and special move. It's just like the Cell equip, basically. Just worded a little differently, worked a little differently, calculated as well a little bit differently. So all Vegeta family units have access to it. Last but not least, there is actually another equip that was from that Cell event. I'm not seeing it. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. So this one is for Hybrid Saiyans. Double defense up to 15% each, and then up to 10% HP. This is just a rebrand of a couple of other equips that we have, but this is really good. Hybrids needed more defensive equips, so this is going to be nuts for them. This is really nice to see, and this is going to be a part of that new Cell event as well. Speaking of said event, here we have it. So this one goes up to 50 stages plus, just like, you know, you guys have seen these dozen times now. You know how this works, right? They're probably also going to be time gating this. Yes, I can already see it. This stage doesn't even open until the 4th. They do this all the time. They're going to do it. The last stage opens on the 5th of next month, or this month, excuse me now. So there we go. All right, so that's everything in terms of the side content. Let's take a look at the banner. Gohan's getting a Legends Return banner. So this is a look at the banner if you guys happen to be deciding on pulling on it. Not the worst banner. It's pretty decent. Also have some decent EXs here. Not a bad banner overall. If you're looking to get your Gohan Zenkai, this is probably going to wind up being one of your better chances anyway. It's a mini step-up banner. You guys have seen these before. They do these all the time. This is going to be one of your better chances overall. And you also have some good supplementing units, like, again, Gotenks. The Red Trunks is a really good unit as a fighter. He's pretty underrated, in my opinion. And if not, he's a good bench unit as well. Maybe you can pick up some of these other Zenkai units that you could potentially use as well, like Trunks and Gohan down here at the bottom. Again, it's decent, but I don't know if I recommend even pulling on it. We need to see what Gohan does, which we will do later. Here's a look at Gohan Zenkai banner. It's been reworked just like the last few since, I believe, Red Trunks came out. Same goes for the Cell here. So, again, those are coming out tonight. And here, last but not least, in terms of the banners, is the Sparking Weekend banner. So this is a look at the roster for the new Weekend Summon banner. So take a look at it. Pretty normal stuff here. And you even have the complete overhaul of, or not the overhaul, but overabundance of units on the banner. Oh, okay, they're doing that again. All right. Hey, it's all Sparkings apparently, right? There's something here that I might be missing, so wait until you see it. But this goes live on the 4th. It's not, you're not going to see this right now. It goes live on the weekend, so keep that in mind. They're all at the same rate, too. We've seen this banner basically done numerous times already. Like, they had this banner as like a free banner basically during the anniversary. We've seen this already. So there's that. Okay, you guys ready? This is where things explode into awesomeness. We're going to start off with the new Cell. For one, I want to say, like, I didn't think this dude... I think he needed a Zenkai, but I can't imagine a worse time to have given him a Zenkai, in my opinion. And shout out to Yellow Cell, who I think is still pretty decent. He's definitely showing his age because he's incredibly old now. But he went from being the best perfect Cell in the game 2 weeks ago to being the worst of the three. Well, they introduced a third one now, the new red one, right? And this dude was obviously the worst because he was the oldest one. And Yellow now, all of a sudden, is the one that's in the last spot among the Sparking Perfect Cells. So that's interesting. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the Zenkai. So here's a look at the stats. We're going to go to 7-star as well. So stats are 231,000 strike attack, 2.47 million HP, 262,000 blast attack, and almost 160,000 in both defensive stats. It's pretty actually good. So this dude actually had an ult as well. So let's see how he looks. Draws the ult, restores ki, and plus 40% of damage. Pretty straightforward, but that's pretty good. It's not a bad thing. If we learned anything from like Demon King Piccolo, that's not bad to be straightforward. So he has an entire unique that was anti-Saiyans, or Super Saiyans, I believe, initially. They added Saiyans to it, and they buffed it 50%. Can't be canceled. This is actually nuts. Now, the downside of this type of unique is it also is always going to be exclusive to a specific matchup. So if you run to like hybrids or whatever, it's completely dead. But if you're running against like any Saiyan characters, even like extensions of Saiyans, like Super Baby 2, for example, who's a Saiyan, you're going to get a bonus of 50% blast damage, right? And Super Saiyans, right? That's pretty crazy. I don't think you needed a Super Saiyan part, I guess. Well, actually, you do for Super Saiyan 1 Hybrid Saiyans. But, okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty expansive. But, again, it's if you're not versus those characters, obviously, like I said, it's a dead unique, unfortunately. I was hoping they'd add more to it, but they just decided to super buff it pretty much and add that secondary tag. Because Super Saiyan 1 characters, you're never really running into this tag group anyway. Not many characters from this grouping are very relevant in the meta. There's a few in here, like the Vegetos and the Trunks, obviously, but there's not a ton, right? Okay, let's take a look at what else he does here. So, go back to the Zenkai. So, the other uniques here are as follows. Applies the falling effects to the enemy when this character enters the battlefield. Plus 30% of damage received for 10 counts, and plus 5 to all arts costs. Okay, not bad, not bad. The debuff is the big thing. There's some disruption there with the all arts cost thing. I believe before it wasn't all arts card costs, but that's pretty good now. For 10 counts. Okay. The falling effects occur every time own attack is evaded with the vanishing step. Okay, so if you have priority. There's two ways that this type of unique works. It's when the character dodges an attack, like I believe Rose has that variant. And then there's the one where you actually get the enemy to dodge your attack. So there is different utilities on that, and this is a really good one. Occur every time own attack is evaded. Reduces next damage sustained by 20%. Can't be stacked. Applies this applies until the enemy's combo is over. Inflicts enemy damage per downgrade minus 100% to ki recovery for 3 counts. And that's an entire unique. What? All he has so far is like, almost like, I don't want to say like worthless stuff through 3 uniques, but definitely nothing worthwhile. I mean, they're good, they're decent. This is kind of what I expected. When I saw he was getting a Zenkai, I was like, man, there's no way they're going to make him like super impressive. Not like Demon King Piccolo. He just wasn't going to be. Let's see the last unique, though. For Zenkai 6, applies the falling effects itself when he enters the battlefield. Oh, he gets the... This is where the entering the battlefield part is. Nice. Restores health by 10%, activates 3 times, plus 40% to damage and plus 50% to ki recovery. You know, that's a good unique, but this is where he really gets his stuff. He got some tanking, but only if they dodge his attack. He does minus 100% of their key recovery for 3 counts, which this would actually be better in the scenario where the enemy forced you to vanish and you lost priority, but in this instance, you have priority, meaning you're probably going to be on the aggressive end here, so this is almost irrelevant. Every time I want to attack, yeah, you're going to be on the aggressive end unless they bait you into a sidestep after you get their vanish, which you should never sidestep in that instance. Okay. The debuff is good. It just seems like he's going to probably wind up being best used as a bench unit. Which is, I guess, okay, but whatever. He's going to buff red hybrids, or not hybrids, excuse me, red regen characters. So here we go, moving on. So 50% key recovery, 40% damage, and then 10% health restoration buffs. Now, alongside like Super Baby 2, obviously, he can expand on this a bit, but pretty good. That last unique's pretty good, but the rest of it's kind of applies attribute upgrade, minus 100% to enemies, sustained damage cut effects, activated when changing cover to self for 20 counts upon activation. If they change cover specifically, minus 100% to their sustained damage cut effects. But he keeps it for 20 seconds as a trade-off. Still does major impact damage. Still not impressive. Plus 20% of damage inflicted for 15 counts. Inflicts all enemies attribute downgrade, minus 50% to health restoration. This is okay, but still nothing really impressive. Ultimate does massive impact damage. Gain attribute upgrade, minus 100% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 3 counts. And has a 30% chance to inflict feint. Double blasts and regen, red regen characters. I haven't been this not impressed with a Zenkai character since Vegeta. I mean, that was only a couple of releases ago. But, yeah. Even I was more hopeful for, like, Trunks, who I think is actually criminally underrated. Beyond Zenkai 3, anyway. But this dude, on the surface of Zenkai 1, he's just not impressive to me. He does the debuffs, and he has the... If you're not versus, like, a Saiyan character... Like, if you're in a regen match, he's not going to do anything. Yeah, he's pretty much just basically going to be a bench unit, which is not a bad role to be in. But I wish they would Zenkai, if they're going to do that, they'd Zenkai more double stat buffers or whatever. Because single stat, and then this is ultra stingy for red regen characters specifically. It's just weird. Zenkai buffs are weird. Anyways, let's go and take a look at Gohan, who I know is not going to let me down. Gohan's going to be super good, and I'm super excited. So here we go, man. All right, so here's the Gohan here, 7-star, 5,000. Zenkai, okay. 234,000 strike attack, 264,000 blast stack, 167, 168,000 in terms of the defense, and 2.5 million HP. Yeah, already off to a really good start here. Main ability, draws the ultimate, Father-Son Kamehameha. Next, restores health by 40% and ki by 70. Ugh. All right. Nullifies unfavorable elements for 20 counts if there is a defeated battle member. Okay, that makes sense. It's pretty much just a buff version. It's almost the same thing, just a little bit better. 30 went up to 40. Ki went up by 20 as well. Okay. It's probably too much ki. You don't need all that, but I mean, it's cool. I'm not complaining. All right, so here's the first unique. The following effects occur per defeated battle member. It's now 40% damage and 30% ki recovery. I think it was 30 and 20. Yeah, it was 30 and 20 before. And plus 100% damage inflicted if an allied Sun family is defeated. Instead of Goku, that is infinitely better. He no longer is hamstrung to being forced to be ran alongside a Goku character. This is infinitely, like, a trillion times better. Holy crap, that's really good. Okay. -5 to blast arts cost, can't be canceled. Reduces damage received from regen by 20%, can't be canceled. Plus 20% to damage inflicted for 20 counts every time he uses a blast arts. Reduces damage received by 40% until combo ends on changing cover. And plus 30% to blast damage inflicted. It's basically the same unique, just a little bit higher on the numbers. Look at that. 5% increases here and there. It's not really much difference in there at all. Okay. So here's where he gets Zenkai 3. Plus 30% of blast damage inflicted against regen, can't be canceled. It's sort of like an anti-regen type of deal here. Applies the following effects to allies per hybrid or Sun family battle member of this character when he enters the battlefield. So he actually, when he enters the battlefield, he buffs allies. Blast damage and ki recovery for 20 counts. Now this does apply to himself. This is when he enters the battlefield. Wait, hold on. Per? Applies the following effects to allies per hybrid or Sun family. Oh, he's going to get 2 of them things. His allies are going to get 2 of them things. What? That's what I'm talking about. And it's for 20 counts, meaning if you wanted to switch them out real quick, you could actually stack this for a period of time. Let's go. All right. So here we go. Zenkai 6 applies the following effects itself when 2 allies are defeated. Restores health by 20%. That's what I'm talking about. Plus 30% of damage inflicted. Yes! Can't be canceled. Cancels downgrades at abnormal conditions. Applies the following effects itself every time when faced with an enemy. Oh, when he enters the battlefield, he gets an automatic key restoration of 40 and plus 25% of damage inflicted. And if the enemy switches versus him, like during a combo or whatever, he restores 40 key and gets another damage buff. What? Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. The Gohan is heat. Okay. Inflicts enemy dash downgrade -1 arts card draw speed. Okay. Green card. Please tell me he like does something super good here. Cancels downgrades and abnormals. Following effects occur based on the own health remaining. 50% or more plus 30% blast damage. 50% or below. 45. That's basically the same thing. Okay. So here's the ult now. Plus 50% of damage inflicted for 20 counts. Wow, he actually keeps damage buff afterwards. Nullifies endurance now. I don't believe he did that beforehand. Yeah, he did not. It wasn't really that common back then that units even had endurance. Blast armor as well. And for Red Sun family, oh man. And I'm also partly biased. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But Gohan is impressive. That's impressive, man. And then he's gonna buff like characters like this Goku if you wanted to have him on a bench. Wow. That's impressive, man. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys hyped for Gohan? As hyped as I am? This is crazy. Thank you all for tuning in, if you guys enjoyed. I'll see all of you tonight.